Hi Ellen, this is Adriana.
Amanda.
Karina.
And we are doing conversation assignment about analyzing language and nonverbals in Shark Tank. So we just watched an episode of Shark Tank, a little segment of Shark Tank. I used to watch them all the time, but I never do right now because I really have a lot of homework to do, so I don't watch them. But I mostly know what it means, and Amanda did you ever watch it before?
I think I might have seen it once. I forget what exactly it was about. I think it was like Easter egg kit for different holidays, like Christmas and stuff. And
But you know the idea of
Yes,
the
yeah.
situation. How about you?
I've never watched them before. This is actually my first time watching it. But I kind of get the idea behind it. I took a business class before, so a lot of what they talked about was actually familiar to me.
Okay, that's good. Would you be a Shark Tank? Would you, if you would be like a self-made millionaire, would you try to get the people to buy? I mean, for you to lend them money?
Perhaps I've always had faith in people, so I think I would I would like to look for people with creative ideas. That's something I really support is creativity. So if I think that they can make something up of their ideas and make it big, then I would totally want.
Did you see? So the video that we watched was it was a male who was representing his company, and he was trying to convince the Shark Tanks that they should lend him $100,000 for his company. Do you think he was convincing enough to? They said no in the very end, but do you think he was convincing them by his gestures, by telling them the story and everything? Was he true?
I actually saw it going downhill from the very beginning, and it was his character that really gave it away. He seemed very confident, but at the same time, if you paid attention to him, you would realize that he actually wasn't as confident as he tried to appear to be. He used a lot of talking, and I think what they're looking for more actions, more. They want to see more of what you have done. Than just words,
So less talking, more doing.
Exactly, less talking, more doing. It's all about the actions.
It's all about the action, boss, right? Is what it is.
I think he showed very powerless language, not really very direct, and he wasn't very confident in his product. I didn't think he really sold it as he could have.
Yes, I like when he introduced himself as hey, with open arms and just being them for them and just being so open. But then he was starting to get very nervous, and I think that just was when they started asking him questions about the money, and everything. He's like, yeah, okay, I know now that you guys are gonna say yes.
One thing that I noticed that they also noticed is that he talked about a lot about getting capital. He kept saying, if I had the capital, if I had the capital. These guys are self-made millionaires. They know that you don't need the money to get big.
Yeah.
You can start from scratch. You can start from the bottom and make it big.
Yes. That's the first guy that he was introduced. He got $10,000, and then he sold his company for $4.3 billion. That's how it's supposed to go. Not that you're borrowing $100,000 and then you're going down the hill, with your performance.
He was also talking about how he made over $100,000 in 2009, but then now he's making what, $50,000. What was that?
He also talks about team. That's one thing I didn't when they asked him what's different now, he said team. And we all know that people are unreliable, you know. So you gotta believe more in yourself. If you're gonna do something, if you wanna make it big, more than rely on people, you gotta rely on yourself.
That's true. I really, so my job is to work with people, and I see tons of people a day. You know, all customers are different backgrounds, different culture. You know, everybody is from another country, or they're related or not related, and the expressions on their faces, you know, are totally like different. It depends. You have different expression. Amanda has different expression. I have different expression on certain things, right? And his expressions on his face, you know, there he was just like showing it with his eyes, with his hands, trying to, you know, make all these gestures and trying to bring them closer, you know, and just tell them everything like, hey, you know, this is what I need, and all the hands and eyes especially. I felt like he's talking with his eyes.
Yeah, he appeared very excited. Like he was excited himself, and he was trying to excite the audience also. But you know, when the truth started coming out, and they saw that his business had been declining, then it all changed. It's like, as much as he tried to convince them and to bring them into or like try to excite them like he originally intended, it just all went downhill.
But you know what was good that he didn't do? He didn't do like this, you know, because
Oh, that's true.
you know, he could just stand like this, and that's the pose that, you know, I'm not giving up. I'm just gonna fight, you know. But he was just like, yeah, his hands was like, okay, I'm totally giving up because I know it's not gonna happen. But all the nonverbal messages that people send, like today I had this lady from Saudi Arabia. She was wearing all this, you know, the uniform that women wear in their country. They just show their eyes. There is no message that she could send besides just looking at you with her eyes, you know. And she doesn't even speak, but she just, you know, and you can see like smile in her eyes, or if she is like curious, or you know, all the emotions just through her eyes. She doesn't even have to take her hands off of, you know, from her little fabric here, you know. You just know that she's trying to communicate somehow.
Yeah, that's true. You know, they say that the eyes are the windows to the soul.
Oh,
And it's
that's
very
true.
true, because eyes are very expressive.
That's true, yes. One of the things that I want to also talk, it's the powerful versus powerless language. I feel like he started with very powerful language and powerful wording, and then it was just, he was just going.
Yeah, that's how I was saying it was like a powerless language, because he wasn't very confident near the end. At first, he seemed like he could have sold them over, but once he started talking about them declining, then it became very just not very confident, you know, not with much power. And it's like, well, what can I do?
And imagine that he's the CEO of this company, you know, and I don't want CEO like that in my company, you know. I want someone who holds the company together, and you know, strong person who have the confidence, and even to the very last minute he's really trying to not give in, you know. So
Yeah, he was contradicting himself a lot. I noticed he would say one thing, but it was just words. Like, he didn't actually mean it. You could tell that he didn't actually mean it. And also, yeah, like you said, as a CEO, you need someone powerful, someone that will stand firm.
that's true.
And he's not that kind of person.
I've seen more episodes, and people like they are sort of talking the gender related language. I feel like this is women-man language, kind of. When men are talking, people tend to listen more, but when women are talking, yes, you know, whatever she's talking about, I don't even want to listen. But men, you know, the deep voice and, you know, just the power in their voice kind of are more convincing than women, for me. I don't know. I mean, women also are very powerful speakers, and they just
Yes.
use all the verbal and nonverbal behavior. If you're like sitting, you are like kind of open, but if you're sitting like this, people know that you are like either scared or you don't want to talk or you're just closed. You don't want you trying to protect yourself from other people. You don't want to acknowledge that. If you're sitting like this, you go, oh hey, what's up, let's talk. But if you're sitting like this, I feel like I don't want to talk to that person because they're like, hey, just leave me alone. I don't want to be in this conversation, kind of closing themselves. So that's the nonverbal message that I think people are sending to other people when they don't want to talk, they don't want to make the contact with others.
I think women are a little bit more sincere and a little bit more
Expressive.
More expressive. And
more
they talk
easier to talk to,
Mhm.
I think, than men are. So there's a big difference there too.
There are a few words. They don't talk a lot. Actually, that's something I like because not because they don't talk a lot, but because they're very straight to the point. That's something I like. I don't like it when people just dance around a topic. I think sometimes less is more.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to say all of this to give me, whatever you want to say. You don't have to expand it. I think that the less you say, the better, because you're more firm in it. And when you start talking more, it kind of takes out the power in your voice.
Yes.
And in your message.
I feel that too. I feel women are kind of going in circles, or they just want to talk and talk. My dad always was saying this joke. 2 women were in prison for like 10 years, and they finally got out after prison, and they were still talking for half an hour outside of the prison because they couldn't just, let it go, and they would just keep going. So that just shows that women are more verbal and more, expressive than men, I guess. Any other messages, questions, anything else?
I think we covered it.
I think so too. Thank you, Ellen.
Thank you. Thank you.